Hi guys, this is going to be the tutorial that's going to show you how to make this ripple V-stitch. And to make this stitch, you can make it with a variety of different colors. Two really works well, especially if one of them is dark, because it really shows the kind of like zigzag look. I did it in lighter colors as well, just to see if it would show up better on camera, but I'm not sure if it does. I guess you can judge for yourself. But I really like this one. Anyway, so I used worsted weight yarn, 4-ply for the US, 10-ply for Australia. The multiples of this stitch is 14 plus 6. And what that means is that you will chain in sets of 14, 14, 14 until you've reached the width that you want. And then add 6 more chains and you're ready to get started. I also used a 5mm hook or a size H hook for the US. And this is a Furls wooden hook. If you want more information, you can find the link underneath this video. Okay, so I chained in sets of 14, and just to make sure that my chain isn't so much tighter than the rest of my project, you need to chain loosely, or you can use one hook size bigger. So I'm using a 6mm hook since I plan to use a 5mm hook to do the main part of the crocheting. Every 14 sets of 14 that you do will give you basically an up and a down. So depending on how many humps you want, you'll have every set of 14. I'm also going to be using 2 colors. They may not go the best together, I'm not sure, but I want it to be light enough so that y'all can see it on screen. So I just did my sets of 14, 3 sets of 14, and I'm going to do my last. I'm ready to begin, so I want to do my chain 6. There, so once I got my width, which is my sets of 14, I'm ready. And so then you want to chain 6, and if you used a bigger hook, you want to go ahead and get rid of that and grab your hook that you plan to be using for the project. Now to begin, you want to do a double crochet in the 5th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in the 6th chain from the hook. So I'm going to count 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this 6th chain, I'm going to put a double crochet. Then you want to skip 2, 1, 2, and then the next you want to put a double crochet. You'll be doing a V-stitch here. So you'll work a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet, all worked in the same stitch. And that's how you'll do your V-stitch. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. There's always going to be a V-stitch like this in between your up and your down area. Your low peak and your up peak, however you want to look at it. This one here is considered your down peak. So now we're going to skip 2 again, and we're going to do our up peak. So count 1, 2, and in the next chain we're going to start our up peak, which consists of doing a double crochet and chaining 1 3 times. So I did that once. So again, in the same stitch, double crochet and chain 1. That's 2. Then we'll do that one more time. Double crochet and chain 1. That's 3. And then we end with just a double crochet. And that's our peak. So we have our up peak and our down peak with our V-stitch in between. So like I said, we always do a V-stitch in between our up and our down. So again, we just did our up, so the next is going to be a V-stitch. Again, you'll be skipping 2. So 1, 2, and in this next chain, we're going to put our V-stitch. So you'll do a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. So now that we've got our V-stitch there, we're ready for our down part, our bottom of our. So you'll skip 2 again, and then you'll double crochet, not complete double crochet, like a half. So you'll bring it up, yarn over and pull through 2, but don't yarn over again and finish it. So you've got 1/2 of your down. you'll only skip one stitch and then you'll go into the next. And again, you'll only pull through 2. Now you have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to pull through all 3 loops. And that's how you do the down part. So okay, we just did our down, so now we need to do our V-stitch in between. So again, you're going to skip 2, 1, 2, and then the next we're going to put our regular old V-stitch. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. All in the same stitch. I hope I'm not too close here. And as you can see, we're starting to see a bit of the pattern. See, this is up, this is down, this is down. So now we just did our V-stitch that's in between our down and our up. So we need to do our up. And again, our up consists of skipping 2 chains, and then this 3rd chain, you'll want to do your double crochet, chain 1 3 times. So that's 1, then double crochet, chain 1, that's 2, double crochet, chain 1, that's 3, and then we'll end with just a double crochet. And that's our peak. And again, we have our peak done, so now we're going to skip 2 and do a regular old V-stitch. Then again, skip 2, and now we're going to do our lower part again. So we're only going to be pulling through 2. We'll skip 1 chain, start your double crochet in the next, and then you'll pull through all 3 loops. So we got our down part, so now we got to skip 2 and do our regular old V-stitch again. I'm losing my yarn here. Completing my V-stitch. Okay, again, we got our V-stitch, we already did our down, so now we need to do our up. So we're going to skip 2 stitches, and then the next we're going to start our up. So double crochet, chain 1, there's 1, double crochet, chain 1, that's 2, double crochet, chain 1, that's 3, and we end with 1 double crochet. We're coming on to our end now. So we're basically only have enough room to do 1 more V-stitch and then our down. So we're going to end on a down, begin on a down and end on a down, a lower peak, however you want to call it. So again, we'll skip 2, and then the next one you're going to put your regular V-stitch, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Then again, you'll skip 2. You should have 5 chains left. You'll skip 2, you'll begin as always in the next, doing your half double crochet, you'll skip 1 and then finish your half double crochet, or not half double crochet, but your incomplete. So I'm skipping 2, and the next chain, only pulling through 2 of the double crochet, then skip 1 stitch, and the very last chain, pulling through only 2, 3 loops on my hook, pull through all 3. And that will end your down on that side. And that's what you're working with now. Now we want to change colors. If I was making an afghan, I would probably cut my yarn, as you can see here. Go back up just a bit. You can see that there's fringe on the side, but it's not very thick fringe, so you can feel free to add more when the afghan is done. But just keep in mind, you will have fringe here on this side unless you're planning on doing a whole border around the whole thing or something. So I don't want to cut my yarn because I'm going to be keeping it. So I'm just going to grab my other color. But you would change colors the exact way I'm about to do right now, regardless if you're cutting your yarn or not. So I'm going to get my new color here. I don't want to be fighting with my yarn too much at the beginning, so I'm just going to unravel it some. Okay. Just got to find my end. Here we go. Okay, so when you change colors, you just want to go ahead and grab your new color and just take the end like this and just fold it like that. And now that's your loop. That's what you're going to be using. So I just pinch that, and then you can just pull that through your new color. Grab your old color and you want to pull it to tighten. So now that you've tightened that, you've got a good hold on the new color. And then you can just begin. Drop the old color, grab the new. Okay, at the beginning of every row, and this next row I'm about to show you is the repeat. So you'll be doing exactly the same thing over and over again on this row here. So you're always going to change colors after every row, and you're going to begin by chaining 3 and turn. Now, as you see here, there's the down, there's your V-stitch, and then there's your up. You'll be putting your first double crochet here in the first V-stitch, the one that's in between your down and your up peak. So I'm going to yarn over and put my first, and you're going not in the stitch itself, but in the V-stitch itself, this hole. So do a double crochet there, and this first, this first here will count as your first down. Now we'll work our first V-stitch, which again is between your low and your high, which we'll do in a minute. You'll always have a regular V-stitch, and that'll always be worked here. As you can see in the peak here, you have 1, 2, 3 holes. You're going to always work your V-stitch here, your new peak here, and then your next V-stitch, which is going to be always in between your peak and your low, in this one. So you'll be using all 3 of these peaks. So let's do our V-stitch in the first one. So do a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Again, we won't be working in the stitches itself through this whole blanket. It's always going to be through the holes. So we did our V-stitch. Now we're going to use this middle one to do our new peak. So I'm going to double crochet, chain 1 3 times. So that's 1. Double crochet, chain, that's 2. Double crochet, chain, that's 3, and then we'll end with our double crochet. And that's our new peak now. Now in the next hole here, we're going to be putting our V-stitch. Our regular old V-stitch. Okay, once you've got your V-stitch done, we're doing a low peak. And what you want to do now is, if you look at your piece here, you can see from last row, or at least I hope you can see from last. Let me get as close as I can here. So if you look at your previous row here, you see this was your peak, and you know in between your peak there's always a V-stitch. So this is your V-stitch. This was the low. As you can see, this is the lowest that it goes here. This was your low point, and between every low and high we always have a V-stitch, which is here. So on either side of this low point you have a V-stitch here and a V-stitch here. These are the 2 we're going to be using this row and every row to make our next low point. So you're going to put the beginning of your double crochet that you don't finish here, and then you'll start by doing the same here. So let me back out. So when in doubt, you know there's a V-stitch in between every high and low point. So if this low point isn't like mine and as low as you can see, it's very noticeable. Just find your V-stitches on either side of your low point, and you know that's what you'll be using. So I'm going to yarn over, go into my first V-stitch, and then pull through only 2. Then I'm going to come over. This is my low point. This is my next V-stitch. So I'm going to yarn over and start my next incomplete there. 3 loops on my hook, pull through, and now this will be your next, oop, lost my hook, my loop. That'll be your next low point. See, it's going to pull it together and keep it low point. Okay, and again, after every low point and high point, you need to do a V-stitch. And remember, you're always going to be working your V-stitch, your next peak, and your V-stitch is always going to be worked in this peak area. So you're going to skip on over to this part, find that first space, and you're going to work your V-stitch in that first section. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Now we're ready to make our new peak here in the center, which is your double crochet, chain 1 3 times. And then finish off by just doing a double crochet. So after your peak here, sorry if I'm off screen, I am pretty close. Forgot to zoom back out. So after your peak, again in the very next and third space here in the peak, you'll be doing your V-stitch. Okay, now that we did our V-stitch, we're ready to do our next low point again. Again, I can see that this is my low point. I got a V-stitch here and a V-stitch here. So I'm going to yarn over, go into my first V-stitch and begin. Yarn over, this is my low point, this is my next V-stitch, and then complete my low point. Now again, you need to do your next V-stitch. You'll be working again in this peak area. So V-stitch, new peak, V-stitch. And then you'll be ending on a low. So go ahead and do that, and I'll see you when you get done. Okay, I just worked my V-stitch, my new peak, my V-stitch. Now I'm ready to end by doing my low stitch again. So here you see you have a V-stitch, and then this was your chain and your double crochet that you did at the very beginning. We're going to be using this V-stitch and the top of the chain 3 to finish your end of your row. So I'm going to yarn over, go into my V-stitch here, begin my low point. Then I'm going to find the top of the chain 3 here, yarn over and go into that top of the chain. Now you want to pull through all 3 loops. And then again, you will change your color to whatever color that you want. And then you'll begin again. You'll repeat exactly what you just did. And if you work with the third color, you can add the third color here, and then you can just keep switching back and forth. But like I said, I'm not doing that. I'm just going to stick with 2 colors or 4, one of the 2. So that's it. All you have to do is rewind the video, and you can just keep repeating that row over and over and over again until your project reaches the size that you want. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to hit the like button and share these videos. It helps me out so much. If you haven't checked me out yet on social media, you can find all the links to where I am on social media down below, as well as my Facebook group called Crochet for the Masses if you want to join me there. Share your crochet projects. I'd love to see them, especially if you made something of mine from one of my tutorials. Also, if you're interested in trying to find out how to get a furls hook, you can find the link down below, and I also recommend that you order it with the extended hook. So you have to ask that for that specifically. If not, then they'll shorten it. So that's it. Thank you so very much for watching. Bye.